families remain displaced, hospitals are under pressure, aid access remains restricted, and every fresh escalation raises one fear: whether West Asia is moving towards peace or towards another cycle of war. India has consistently spoken about a just, lasting and comprehensive peace. But the central question remains: is the ceasefire actually holding? Can Gaza be separated from the wider West Asia war? What does Palestine want from the world now? What role can India play? And after this scale of destruction, is the two-state solution still alive? To discuss this, we are now joined by the Palestinian Ambassador to India, Abdullah M. Abu Shawesh. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me on Point. And let me begin this conversation by asking you, take us through the situation in Gaza and West Bank.
Thank you so much indeed, Kartikya Sharma, for having me today, and much appreciation and many thanks, of course, to TV9 Network at large. Before I go to your to answer your question, because wording have a meaning, and this is the most important lesson that we, as a diplomat, we used to learn it, and as someone who was spent 8 years in the United Nations itself, and the very first lesson that I learned came from an Indian colleague saying that wording have a meaning. So once in your introduction you said Gaza humanitarian crisis, then you said the conflict, and you mentioned Lebanon, Gaza, and other issues. I would like to shed light. This is my responsibility as the ambassador of Palestine, of course, and my responsibility as a diplomat, and my responsibility as a political representative for President Abbas and the Palestinian people. When we talk about the humanitarian crisis, no, it's a genocide. It's not a humanitarian crisis. The humanitarian crisis is a consequence of the genocide. But unfortunately, many of the media outlets, of course, many of the controlled and media outlets, especially I'm talking about the Western media outlet, used to say that it's a crisis, it's a humanitarian crisis, genocide. It's an officially had been recognized by the many international bodies such as United Nations Human Rights, Amnesty, and the scholars of the genocide. It's a genocide, not a humanitarian crisis. Consequence to this Israeli genocide, there was a humanitarian crisis, not one crisis, multiple humanitarian crises. This is first. Conflict? No, it's not a conflict. It's an Israeli occupation, whether we like it or we did not like it, and absolutely we did not like it. It's the Israeli occupation. Did India or Indian government recognize the Israeli issue as a conflict or Israeli occupation? When India voted in favor of the multiple resolution in the United Nations General Assembly itself, this resolution is saying the Israeli occupation, and India voted in favor of the in favor of the resolution that tackling the Israeli occupation. So it's not conflict, it's the Israeli occupation. The other one, when you mentioned Lebanon, Gaza, which is true, yes, the crisis or the conflict, so to speak, likewise you mentioned it, the Israeli occupation, the genocide in Lebanon, Gaza, and Iran. Of course, Israel and the United States of America launched a war on Iran. But there is another part of the Palestinian territory should be all the time be in the center and in the focus, which is the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem. We in the occupied West Bank, and including East Jerusalem, of course, endure in a daily pace tens of terror attack by the Jewish fanatic maniacs settlers. Anyone know about this issue? No one, unfortunately, because again the media did not covering this issue. We in West Bank, more than 970 barriers, new barriers had been put in West Bank. Part of these barriers with, unfortunately, is gates. These gates, and we have videos that one person, one fanatic, one Jewish man can close it and deny the right of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 Palestinians to enter or to back to their homes by the end of the day. So it's there. It's a genocide, not conflict. It's the Israeli occupation, not conflict. It's the entire Palestinian society, entire Palestinian territory under the Israeli occupation is suffering.
Okay. Now, let me ask another question to you, Ambassador. A lot of critics say that the fact that the first attempt of violence started from Gaza, where 1,700 Israelis were killed, and Israelis have been saying, the government have been saying that the Hamas does not recognize the right of existence of Israel. So how do you reconcile?
Thank you so much indeed. Again, when we talk about this issue, or when we use as a Palestinian to face this very important question, we used to say, and I personally used to say, that there are two schools of thought. When we should, or when we tackle the issue or the recent escalation of the, or recent genocidal Israeli war, we should talk about two schools of thought. The rational school of thought, or the economic school of thought, which is saying that if you want to check any challenge, if you want to solve any problem, you should check the root of this problem itself, which is called the root symptom analysis school of thought, rational school of thought. And the other school of thought, which is absolutely the Zionist school of thought, that want us as international community, as a human being, to believe that everything was started in October 7th and everything end by October 7th. Nothing before October 7th and nothing justify October 7th, and everything after October 7th, all the genocidal war, all the killing of the Palestinian people, the ongoing, the live stream, the broadcast massacres, slaughtering of the Palestinian people is justified by October 7th. So we are talking about two schools of thought. The rational school of thought, and this rational school of thought was represented by the United Nations Secretary General in his speech before the Security Council in October 24, 2023, after he denounced and condemned Hamas attack. But he said that it was not happened in a vacuum. There is a root for this problem, which is the Israeli occupation. There is a root for this problem, which is the expelling of the Palestinian people from their homeland in 1948, which is called a Nakba. There is a root for this, or for October 7th, which is the issuing by the British, and I'm pretty sure that many of you here in India did not know that the one who sowed the seeds for our misery, the one who sowed the seeds for the evil that we are enduring up to date is the British United Kingdom in 1917 by issuing the Balfour Declaration. So that back to October 7th, we cannot analyze October 7th short of the incubator of October 7th. We cannot just saying Hamas. There is a root cause for this issue, which is the Israeli occupation and mainly the British themselves.
But how do you break this circle of violence? Because when the Israelis say that they're being attacked by Hezbollah, Hezbollah is supported from Iran, they are being attacked by Houthis, they are being attacked by Hamas, then how do you break it? And the question related to that is that the charge has always been that the apparatus in West Bank and Gaza, there is hybridization. You don't know who is a civilian and who is attacking the state of Israel. So how does one separate that issue? Because if you don't separate that issue, one will never come to a point where you can have talks which 3 decades ago happened in a Scandinavian country, Oslo talks.
The issue here is again the starting point where we should, because if we want to solve any problem, we should tackle the exact root of the problem. Just to say cycle of violence, no, it's not cycle of violence. You cannot call killing of 37,000 Palestinian, innocent Palestinian in Gaza. Vast majority of them is women and the children. And when we say innocent people, because the whole entire names, the 73,000 names is there, and we challenge Israel to point out its finger and to say this is or this person had been killed because he's a fighter or he's belong to Hamas or other military faction in Palestine. So that it's not violence, it's a genocide. Genocidal war conducted by Israel. Before it became genocidal war, it was the Israeli occupation, and before the Israeli occupation, it was the ethnic cleansing that we are endured during in 1948. Just to back, because analyzing the problem mean that back to it is root. The only way to put an end to what you call it violence, what I call it genocidal war, what I call it a daily attack, fanatic, at the hands of the fanatic Israeli Jewish people.
Ambassador, can two states coexist together? Is it possible for Palestine and Israel to exist together?
Absolutely. We in Palestine.
How? So let's talk about the positive side. Can they exist together? If they can exist together, how can they exist together? What are the minimum demands which Palestinians are asking?
Back to the two-state solution, as if it is or someone has created the wheel. two-state solution is there since 1917, November 29, since November 29, 1974, when the United Nations, without consulting us, we the indigenous people whom own at that time 94% of the historical land of Palestine, whom consisted at that time 70% of the population. The other 30% is a new arrival, Jewish, European Jewish, Khazarian Jew, whom came new arrival and call or seek asylum, and the Palestinian nationality at that time. I know it's a very new information for all of you. The Jewish at that time used to seek asylum in Palestine, to call and to have and to carry the Palestinian nationality. So that United Nations in 1947, without consulting us, without consulting the people who own 94% of the historical land of Palestine, decided to split, to divide our land.
There are a lot of things I need to ask. One, is there a unified Palestinian leadership, sir?
Unfortunately, yes. We have some difficulties. No, we have a split. We had been split. But there is a very important aspect in this regard. Who's representing the Palestinian people? Officially speaking, and according to the international law, Palestine Liberation Organization. Palestine Liberation Organization is the sole and legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, which government is recognized by the international community, even by the Israeli themselves, is the Palestinian government.
What is
there is split between the Palestinians themselves.
So what is the relationship of PLO with Hamas?
No, Hamas is not part of the PLO. Hamas is very welcome to become part of the PLO as long as Hamas abide by all the adopted resolution by the international law and by the agreed, by the signed and by Oslo Accords and all the agreement that's signed by the PLO itself.
Okay. Now let's focus on certain humanitarian issues. Is it possible to rebuild Gaza in the current situation? The devastation is huge. There are parts of Gaza that has been occupied by the Israeli army in the name of buffer zone.
70%.
Okay. So so is the size of Gaza being reduced by the state of Israel? The Gaza right now is different from the Gaza which existed before the war, sir?
Absolutely. Gaza today is not Gaza on October 6, 2023. Gaza today is totally damaged, is totally destroyed. The vast majority of the buildings there is destroyed. 19 out of 36 of the hospitals is still partially operated. The other hospital is completely removed from the service. The infrastructure itself, everything in Gaza had been destroyed and bombed. But the question is, Gaza is only 365 square kilometer. Gaza today, 70% of Gaza is under the full Israeli control, which means only the people is living in 30% of Gaza. When we talk about Gaza, many of the Beit Hanun, Beit Lahia, Jabalia, and Rafah itself has been utterly, totally removed from the service and converted to ruins, which means that Gaza is like a city had been bombed by nuclear weapons. But the question is it possible to rebuild Gaza? Yes, if there is a will, there is a way. Let us remember that Europe, Berlin, after the World War I, World War II was completely, utterly demolished. Berlin and many other places in Europe, not only Berlin, many other places. But the question is, when the international community, when the European, the American came united and to say we should start a new chapter in our life, it was there. This is not the first time that the Palestinian society to be destroyed in 1948, 531 village and town had been destroyed. And we became refugees, but we built our life from scratch and we became in a very strong society. Just what we are seeking is just to have the opportunity to build our society, and of course the international support. In West Bank, what we are calling for is the opportunity to build our economy, not more than that. Just leave us alone, dismantle, finish the Israeli occupation, and we will not need any single even one to help us, even especially in West Bank.
So a lot of West Asian states have dealt with the issue of radicalization, from Saudi Arabia to Qatar. Do you think that there's radicalization in the Palestinian territories? I'm not debating historical roots of that. Do you worry that the hardline forces have found expression, roots there, like Muslim Brotherhood?
No, the issue is radicalization is a natural phenomena. We're going to find it through the history. It's not only among the Muslim, among the Palestinian, among every single religion. You're going to find a lot of religious, fanatic, messianic, and radical people. But if we want to check and we want to be very fair, we should talk about the source of radicalization in Palestine, which is the Jewish themselves. I mean, the Jewish fanatic people, the Israeli occupation. I'm pretty sure that you might be surprised to know that many of the fanatic or the Jewish belief itself is talking about that the God created two types of people. The first type, of course, the supreme type is the Jewish, and the other one is the Gentili. Which
do we need to get into the books?
No, I'm talking
every
about
religion can.
I'm talking
does
about
segregate
yes,
the
absolutely.
people of other religion.
I agree with you. Radical people is there, and among the Muslims, among the Jews,
and every religion does that, sir.
But the question is
othering other people.
No,
within and outside.
No, I'm talking about because you mentioned example, and I can assure you, yes, I agree with you. There is a lot of fanatic people among the Muslims, but there is the vast majority of the religious Israeli or the religious Jews is very fanatic, is very messianic. Day and night they are calling for the killing of the Palestinians.
Israeli state has actually, most of the Israeli officers I have spoken to, they complain that it's the Palestinians who get more publicity, more sympathy. Every American East Coast University campus had pro-Palestinian protests. There was no pro-Israeli protest. Even in the West Coast, there were pro-Palestinian protests. Even in number of Indian states, I really don't want to name, on the eastern side, you had pro-Palestinian from Kashmir to Kerala.
Yes.
There were so many pro-Palestinian protests. You had more sympathy than the Israelis.
I totally agree with you, especially after October 7th, because the ugly face of the current government, Israeli government, and this is not my word, this is the Israeli wording. It's the Israeli media is talking day and night that the ugly face had been exposed. The calling for the killing in New Gaza, killing of the Palestinian, killing in a live stream. This is the first time in history.
You're saying that the response was disproportionate?
Come again?
You're saying that the response was disproportionate?
This is according to the international law. It's not appropriate. The response for October 7th is absolutely.
But then sir, Israelis also say that their existence is not acknowledged from river to the sea, which means that the Palestinians wants to drive them out. That's not my slogan. From river to the sea.
This is our slogan as a Palestinian. They can, but they can talk to the one who's called for this slogan. This is not our slogan as a Palestinian. We as a Palestinian national authority, as a Palestinian people, PLO, acknowledge the right of Israel to exist, acknowledge and accept and sign Oslo Accord. In Oslo Accord, we accept to build our state in 22% of our historical land. But there is a theoretical level and the practical level. From the river to the sea, there is more than 15 different type of Israeli laws, which is calling for from the river to the sea is the pure Israeli and Jewish land. It's by law, it's by practice. But there is a slogan in the Western, from the river to the sea, which they use it to say that it's an anti-Semitic. But in practice, from the river to the sea, there is an apartheid regime called an occupation, called Israeli occupation. In this occupation, we, the Palestinians, did not have any single right even to live. And we did not have the ability to live. We did not have the ability to secure our family. So in practice, from the river to the sea, they call it. It's a place, it's a Jewish state. Not only from the river to the sea, from recently, and it was supported and backed by the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Hakabi, what's so-called Hakabi. He mentioned that Israel should be from Nile River to Iraq, to Euphrates River, which means that it's not only from the river to the sea.
You're saying that they're dreaming of greater Israel?
Yes, this is not my word. This is what the Israeli day and night, backed by the American ambassador.
No one gets to choose the neighbors, India also doesn't get to choose the neighbor. You also don't get to choose the neighbor.
But we accepted them. We have nothing with them.
Do you think that in future there is a chance that Israeli leadership and Palestinian leadership can sit together? Or do you think that they're averse to the two-nation solution?
My president, I'm gonna claim something, I'm responsible. My president Mahmoud Abbas is ready tonight to go to Jerusalem, to sit to the negotiation table to discuss the two-state solution based on 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as the capital of Palestine, abide by the whole entire agreed resolution and international law. We are pledged, we are ready. President Abbas can go today, tonight, to Jerusalem to sit with the Israeli
Do you think
leaders.
Israel would agree to the 1967?
No, Israel is not agreeing.
Israelis would agree to the 1967 border?
Their official position, the Israeli is against the two-state solution. Their official position today, the current government, its official position is to expel the Palestinian people from their homeland. It is official declared position, and all the measures and policies that they used to take it in a daily pace is to guarantee that the Palestinian will leave their homeland, if it is not by force, by voluntary.
Okay. How do you see India playing a role here? Do you see India has a role here?
No, how I see India itself, how you, the Indian people, should see your country. India is a great country. India is one of the greatest economy worldwide. India is 1.4 billion human being. India is 3.2 million square kilometer. India is the very first, the very first and the very big democracy worldwide. So that India is a creator of BRICS, of course. India is the champion of the South. When we talk about India, we are not talking about small country like, with all due respect to any other country. We are talking about one of the greatest country, one of the greatest state, one of the greatest nation, one of the ancient nation worldwide. So that India have it, and this is, yes, it is a privilege for you as Indian people, but it is a responsibility. Okay. So that this means that we in Palestine, not only in Palestine, many in the South, many in the South is still used to and still looking to India as the big brother. This is a responsibility. When I say big brother, our official narrative as a Palestinian, we look to India as a big brother. This is a responsibility, and this means that India used to and can and should. I'm pretty sure that India can play a crucial role in pushing the two-state solution and the peace process.
Do you think that the war with Iran has complicated the situation further?
It's every war, not only in Iran. It's every crisis, every war worldwide. This means that the camera, the intention, the international intention will turn back from the Palestinian issue. The war on Iran, not with Iran. It was not with Iran because Iran did not start it. I'm not here to defend Iran, but it was war started by American and Israeli on Iran. The war on Iran, of course, absolutely absorb all the focus, all the lenses, all the cameras from the Palestinian issue. 3 months, unfortunately, no one even called us to cover some of our news. 3 months, during these 3 months and more, the humanitarian crisis entrenched in Gaza and West Bank. More than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed, and much to talk about the crisis in Palestine.
Okay, Ambassador, so I would like to thank you for sparing time and speaking so spiritedly about the Palestinian cause. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much indeed for having me. It's my pleasure, of course. One very important issue.
And one thing I would like to say is that News9 is a very neutral platform.
Please.
It doesn't take sides, because there are no sides when it comes to war.
Absolutely. And one issue I would like to, again, through your, of course, screen, I would like to say it. We, the Palestinians, are not short of history, logic, international law, or anything. Just we are short of screens to be appear and to tell our story. We are short of being asked about the reality on Palestine. We are short of being asked about the very harsh questions that had been propagated. And
this platform assures, this platform assures that all sides of the stories are heard. Again, thank you.
Thank you so much indeed.
And this is all I had on point tonight. Thank you. It's confirmed. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been eliminated. But it was just not about Khamenei. It was also about the entire regime which the Americans wanted to take out.
Are the Iranians going to